All right, morning online. You all here? You all here? They're online? Yeah, morning. All right, so last day, just a quick review on where we stopped last day. Right, so last day we looked at the quadratic and we started looked at the quadratic and we started to look at catching the quadratic, right? Right, nice. Last day we looked at this, right? We know how a quadratic will look. The highest power of x is 2. We looked at the formula here to find h and k. We looked at how to determine the type of quadratic, turning point, maximum value. We said that the maximum minimum value is always what? It's always k, right? The maximum minimum value is always k. The x value gives the maximum is always minus h. X-intercept, we have to solve this. Y-intercept, we have to prove out this. And then our sketch will look like this here. That's okay? That's what we did last day. Today we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at something called the nature of roots. All right? Before we do the nature of roots, we're going to do one more sketch as an example. Right? If you're new, just take a picture here now. Take a picture. Right? Take a picture. After adding to the group, right? So we are going to start trying to do one of these, and then we're going to take a look at something called discriminant. Okay. All right, so quickly, I want you to sketch. Right, try to sketch this here from up, please. Try to sketch this quadratic here. I believe. Right, follow all these steps and sketch them. And then from here, you have to move into this pyramid. Right? right? Just to make sure you're going along the right path. A is equal to 3, B is equal to -2, C is equal to -1. A is more than 0. This is more than 0. So therefore, we have a minimum shaped quadratic, right? And if we know it minimum, we could get a turning point because the turning point is minus HK. So we have to find H and K, right? H is equal to B over 2A. So that's -2. That's -2 over 2 by 3. A is 3, 2 to cancel. You'll get -1/3. K is equal to C minus H squared. C is -1 minus A is 3, and H is -1/3 squared. Oh, you finished up. Make sure you reach up to there. Right? When you're solving where it cuts the x-axis, use the formula. Do the long way. I want to show you something within the formula. Okay? Do the long way. Check the calculator. I'll try and do it the long way. Right? Do it the long way, right? Use the formula when you're solving the quadratic. That's my audio. Let us test this quadratic here. one. And take a look at something called nature of kind of sketch this protracted here. All right. Should be done. If you're not done, then look it over, right? You know. So let's take a look at this here. So this is minus 1/3 squared. So that's minus 1 minus 3 by 1/9. 3 into this 3. So you'll end up with minus 1. You'll end up with minus 1 minus 1/3, which is minus 1/3. So it means that our turning point is minus h. H is this. So minus of this is positive 1/3. And minus k, sorry, k is our value here. So that is our turning point. Next thing that we need to get is where it cuts the x-axis. So we are going to solve 3x squared minus 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So we're going to solve this at this quadratic here, the long way, right? So we're going to use x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So you're going to use the long formula, right? So minus b minus minus 2 plus and minus the square root of minus 2 squared minus 4 by a by c all over 2 by a. So minus and a minus plus square root. This is 4 and this is 12, positive 12, right? All over 6. So this is 2 plus this plus and minus the square root of 16. Sorry, separated one time, right? I just separated one time. 2 plus the square root of 16 over 6. 2 minus the square root of 16 over 6. Right? 2 plus square root is 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 over 6 is 1. 2 minus 4, that's minus 2, and 6, that's minus 1, 2. So that? So when you factorize, you really got where it cuts the x-axis. Okay? And last part where it cuts the y-axis. And it cuts the y-axis all the time at what? At 0. 0 what? C, right? 0 C. So it cuts the y-axis at 0 C. So in this case, 0 minus 1. And then we give them a quick sketch. Start with where it cuts the x-axis. Minus 1/3. Positive 1. Where it cuts where the turning point is. The turning point is 1/3 negative 1 on this. So that's 1/3 is about here. Let's put the point down here. This is 1/3 negative, and the y-intercept is 0 minus 1. That should be higher up right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and it's a minimum. Okay with that? Everybody remember this from last day? So what we're moving on now, we're moving on from this. Everybody okay with this, right? Yeah? Online? Are you okay with that? Anybody reach here and finish on the whole thing? No? Yeah? Very good. Yeah, Isaiah? Good. So what we're moving on to is something called the discriminant, right? Now what you need? Amrit, you remember all of this? Annalie? All right, so what we're moving on to is something to do with this here, right? So our next heading that we're going to focus on is something called the discriminant. All right. I have a hard question for Paul, right? Look at this quadratic here. Look at this quadratic and look at the way I solved it. Right? How many answers we got when we solved this quadratic? 2 answers. You'll see that? What does 2 answers mean? 2 answers represent where it cuts the x-axis. Right? So here's the question, right? The question is, what controls the amount of answers we get? Is it possible to get 3 answers? Is it possible to get more than 3, less than 3? Is it possible? Is it possible to get 3 answers here? No. It's not possible to get 3 answers. Is it possible to get 1 answer? Yeah. It's possible to get 1 answer here. Is it possible to get no answers? Yes. Yeah, we could solve this and get no answers. So we have 3 options, getting 2 answers, 1 answer, or no answer. My question is, what controls that? Look at the formula good. Watch what we did. What controls the amount of answers we get in? Anybody, you get 3 bottle of water if you get fresh from the farm. Okay. See? You're real close here. You're right next to you. You're warm. You're warm. What controls? Yeah, somebody put it up there. Come on. Right, Jason said b squared minus 4ac. And he put it in a apostrophe something. Good job, Jason. Yeah, it's this. This controls it. Right? Yes, it'll be kind of the plus and minus, but based on what this is, you will have some to plus or some to minus. Okay? Suppose when you work out this, right? You get a value like 4. And you will get 2 plus 4, 2 minus 4, and I'll give you 2 answers. But suppose when you work this out, you get the answer 0. Suppose when you work this out, you get the answer 0. And you will get 2 plus 0 and 2 minus 0. I'll give you the same answer. And so if you get the same answer here, technically you only got 1 answer. 1 answer means that it will only cut the x-axis at 1 place. Right? What do you call that? When a line cuts a curve at 1 place. Again, a T, A, and tangent, right? Tangent. Okay? Right? And what has to happen now for you to get no value? What has to happen? See? This whole thing here has to be what? Can you find a square with negative number? No. So if this is negative, this has no solution. Right? And it means it will never touch it. Okay? So 3 things we learned about this. If this is more than 0, we're going to get 2 roots. If this is equal to 0, we're going to get 1 root. If this is less than 0, something will happen. So therefore, this here, right? This here, b squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant. Right? It's called the discriminant because it discriminates between number of roots. Okay? So what do we know? If b squared minus 4ac is more than 0, we have 2 real, right? I have to use the word distinct as well. 2 real distinct roots, right? If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, we have 2 real equal roots, right? we have two real equal roots, right? Or technically one root, right? Technically one root. All right. And if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, we have no real roots. Are you okay with that? Yeah? Any questions online on that? So the discriminant, this b squared minus 4ac is very, very important. Right? So we spend some time on the discriminant. Okay, so this is the way you represent two real roots. This is the way you represent one real root, no roots. All right. Like remember, roots mean where it cuts the line, right? And that's what roots mean. Right? Any questions online? Right, let me check out Sarah, right? Abani. Right? Sean. Mira. Mira. R. Imran. Ethan. Chloe. Martina. Ivana. Andy. Right? Video online. Video, you're paying attention there? Yes. Adam. Kira. 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 Online. The free was online, otherwise I will unanswered correct idea there. divided new and number. Everybody write it? Right, answer? Right, so I am going to give you a set of quadratics and I don't want you to solve it. All I want you to do is to work out the discriminant, see if it's more than, equal to, or less than 0. And then sum of these things, right? So I don't want you to solve it. Just use the discriminant and let me know how much roots it has. Right? So all you need to get, write out ABC and work it out in the B squared minus 4AC, right? So I want to know the number of roots for each one. What's the number of roots for each one? Let's say case loss, I'm going to show you an example. Right? I don't want you all to do too much of work here. Right? Just in case you lost, take a look here for number 1. A is 5, B is minus 6, and C is minus 2. So all I want you to do is to work out B squared minus 4AC. Okay? Work out that. And you will get minus 6 squared minus 4 by A by C. I don't even want the answer. I just want to know if it's more than 0, less than 0, or equal to 0. Right? But if you work out this, you will get 36 plus 40. So you'll end up with 76, which is more than 0. Therefore, 2 real, right, distinct roots, right? Okay with that? Yeah? Anybody confused online? Vinay there? Vinay. Right. You okay with that? Right. To the others. All right, nice. Online, don't forget to message your answers, right? So number 2, A is equal to 1, B is equal to minus 2, C is 1. Right? So B squared minus 4AC. Right? To those who get confused, remember, what's in front of X squared here? 1. So A is 1, B is minus 2, C is 1. Okay? B squared minus 4AC. So that's minus 2 squared minus 4 by A by C. Right? Minus 2 squared is positive 4. Some of you will have the wrong thing. 4 minus 4 is 0. What does that mean? It means 1 real root. 1 real and distinct root, right? Right? I prefer to write this, right? 1 real and distinct root. And number 3, A is equal to 2, B is equal to 4, C is equal to 8. Right? Nice job, Saphir. Right? A is equal to 8. I'll stop line and put the answers there. Right? B squared minus 4AC. That'll be 4 squared minus 4AC. And you work it out, you'll get minus what? 16. 8 and 64. How much you'll get? 48. Minus 48. Less than 0. Therefore, no real, let's see that. No real roots. Okay? Supposed to be simple, right? Or can make it hard? Anybody? Suppose you're trying to design an ad hoc question, right? You don't want to get into it. How we can make it hard? Right? That's what all these ad hoc people do. They sit down in a room and they say how to make it harder. Right? Can you? And this? Yeah, you could do that too. But what would be the first thing I would make it ask somebody to do? Yes, to make it a little harder. Huh? Add in more negatives, nice. That's one thing that you can do. Add in more negative, add in little roots. But here's what they can do. They can actually in reverse. They can tell you that this quadratic has 1 real and distinct root. Right? And then they say, well, okay, find P. Right? So suppose I told you, Imran, this quadratic here has 1 real root. Find P. What do you know? If it has 1 real root, what do you know? The discriminant is how much? The discriminant is 0, right? So it means that when you substitute P squared and you substitute A and you substitute C, you're supposed to get 0. And then you'll get an equation that you can solve for this. Or I can make it even harder. I can put unknowns everywhere and make it even harder. Right? Or I can make it even harder. I could give you the inequality to solve. But I didn't teach you that yet, right? Right? So that's basically what it will do. Right? What they will do is they'll just find a different way to answer this. Right? But the theory behind it is what we know. Everything that we did for the past 10-15 minutes, that's theory. Advanced now is about being able to critically think and find whatever they ask you. Okay? So for example, as I said, if they gave you this and they said that this quadratic has 1 real root, you have to go back in the memory and see what does one real root mean. It means that B squared minus 4AC is 0. Right? How do I get A, B, and C? Come here, look for A, B, and C. Substitute and solve. Okay? That's the principle behind any other question. All right? So let's try some of those. Any questions online on these? Okay with these, and please look out for little mistakes like squaring mistakes and pulling out the wrong values, right? So all you know what to do, these little mistakes, throw it over. And use a calculator. Whenever you could, put in the calculator and make sure. Okay? All right, so let's change it up slightly. Let's find the value of P right? If the quadratic has one real root, right? So I'll give it three different versions: x squared minus 2x plus, wait, that's the one I gave you that's now. All right, scrap that. 4x minus p is equal to 0. This quadratic only has one root. And I'm going to give you one more that's a little trickier. I hope it works out. I hope I'm afraid it works out. One in. All right, let's take a look at it, right? Right, must you look up early so that they can do some others. Right, I hope this one worked out okay, right? There's a chance it might. Right? Huh? You got that? Right, so I change the sign. Anyway, let's do our one. You'll get your A. You'll get your A. Yeah. So you can get your A. No, pressure with A. Then I know you will get you a B. Oh wait, where is this one? Not joking, not joking. I'll get to the other one. Right? I will do it. I want to do it. Want to do it? Very good. Very good. Yeah, yeah. We're just bring it over. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. All right, so let's see what it is that Brett has here, right? Right, the only one thing that I would like to see is like a line here saying since it has one real root, b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Right, so just put equal to 0 and then substitute everything. Right, so you should always, so all the information given, you should write that. Right, it has one real root, so b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Right, equal to 0. That's the solve. So follow it now. Now. Very good. Right? Very good. Right? So here what she did, she wrote down was A, B, and C, and then she said that b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Since it has one real root, right? Since it has one real root, b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. So substitute. So again, every time you're doing an add math question, the way they allocate marks is formula, substitution, answer. Science subjects as well. Formula, substitution, answer. So get in the habit of following that, okay? Formula, she made a substitution and then she solved to get an answer. Okay with that? When you substitute, put all your brackets all the time. Okay? Minus 4 squared is 16, positive 16. And then you work this out, carry across the 4p. Normally, whenever you're solving for something, the unknown should be on the left side. But if you work it out, it's okay, just put it in the end. Okay? So get in the habit of this, right? Write your formula, make your substitution, and solve the answer. Okay? Try B. Take your time with B. Be a little bit harder because you have to solve for something. Again, start of a negative or right? I can make it up. right, let's check this one out, right? Right, so now we reach the add method. Right, so what is A, B, and C? A is what? A is 2, B is P plus 1, and C is -3. Right, so since, again, we have it right in this, every question you read, there's information in there. Write the information given, right? So since 1 real root b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Now we can start a substitute, right? P plus 1 squared minus 4 by a by c is 0. Okay? We shall stay positive. So when you square this out, you will get, just to remind you all how you're doing this, p plus 1 squared is p by p, p by 1, 1 by p, 1 by 1. Right? Do not write p squared plus 1 squared. There's another term as well, but the term should be the last one. Right? So p by p, that's p squared, p by 1, that's 1p, 1 by p, that's 1p, 1 by 1, that's 1. Right? The shortcut for doing this, is this. P squared is 1 squared is, right? And then you write p and then 2 times this number. Right? So if I give you p plus 4, do the same thing. P squared, 4 squared, and then 2 times this number. Right? That's the way you factorize. That's the way you expand these things. Okay? Right? P squared, 4 squared, and then p by 2 times this number. Whatever this number is, you multiply by 2. Okay? Do not write p squared plus 1 squared root. That's wrong. It's supposed to end up with 3 terms, right? 1, 2, 3. Right? So when you reach here, you will get 4 by 2 is 8. 4 by 2 myself plus, right? 4 by 2 is 8. 8 by 3 is 24. So you're going to get p squared plus 2p plus 25 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic and we have to solve it. But sadly, because I make it up, it have no real solution. Right? It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Right? But you all follow what I did here? Follow what I did here? Diagram. And I expand it out and I work it out. Are you okay with that? Nathan? It's Nathan or Nathan? Nathan. And Nathan, you okay with that? Okay. Let's go again. Let's try our next one. Any questions online? So I'll take A, B, and C as substitute. And normally if you get this, it will work out. Just so mine didn't work out because I make it up, right? I shall put plus 3 here. Let's try our next one now. And I'm going to do it. Can you see there? P squared minus 3x minus 2 is 0. And then one more to remind me that we can do that one. And just to remind me that we do that one. Right? Right, that's enough. Then when I finish first, I'll see you. This one? This one? Right, you have to write 1 root. Right? Online, message your answers for C. Message your answers for C. Right? So C would have been P. A is equal to P. B is equal to -3 and C is equal to -2. Right? And again, we're using B squared minus 4AC is equal to 0 to show. Correct, and the whole thing. Right? And then make a substitution. -3 squared minus 4 by A by C is equal to 0. Right? Divana, everything has brackets. Right? Every single thing has brackets, right? So you will get 9 minus and a minus the plus. 4 by 2 is 8. P is equal to 0. Okay? So I expand it out. I'm going to carry across the 9. It becomes 8P is equal to -9. Right? And I want to get rid of the 8, so I divide it by 8 on both sides. So P is -9 on 8. This brackets is important, right? Brackets important. Writing this is important. Okay? Don't skip these lines. Right and run. Write it down. Hurry up. We have 5 minutes. Let's try and scale 5 can reach D. What is A here? A is how much? A is 1. B is what? For this one here. B is -4 plus 2P. And C is, right? So I'll give it 2 variables, one here and here. I just want to see how you handle it. All right? I want to see how you handle this, right? Right, so write down what is A, write down what is B, write down what is C, and then substitute. Use your brackets. Then expand out the brackets. Okay? Expand out the brackets. And please leave a negative sign on the outside, just like what you're seeing here. Leave a negative sign on the outside. Take the time. What I want to see is good habits. Substitute, put brackets around, and then try to expand brackets, right? All right, let's just see what we got here online. All right, so this is minus 4 plus 2p, squaring all of that, minus 4 by a by c, right? When I square all of this, minus and a minus are plus. So all I really have to do is square 4 plus 2p squared. And I can start to multiply this out. 4 by 1 is 4 by 10p minus 1, right? So I'm trying to simplify the brackets now. Trying to expand this out. 4 squared is 16. 2p squared is 4p squared. Then you multiply them and then multiply that by 2. 4 by 2 is 8p. 8 by 2 is 16p. Right? When you expand this properly, you will get this. Okay? And then you multiply this out. Minus 4 by 10 minus 40p minus 4 by minus 1 is plus 4. Right? So I wanted to see that in ADMAS, what it is, you have to be able to do these little things properly. Right? You'll understand the theory in writing this. But when it comes to getting these things and expanding it out, that's really what ADMAS is about. All right? Within a question, you have all these small things to do properly. Okay? Things you know already, right? But you have to be able to do them properly. Right? And simple things. 4 by this give you a negative, negative and a negative positive. Simple things like that. Then when you reach here, bring your like terms together. You have 4p squared plus 16p minus 40p, 16 plus 4. So you'll get 4p squared minus 24p. Is that correct? Plus 20 is equal to 0. Okay? That's okay? You'll follow what went on here now after I expand it properly and then solve this one. What you got? Anybody can solve this one? Okay, the calculator. How much you got there? How much you got here? Just plug the calculator, A, B, and C. And what you got? Plug the calculator. Plug the calculator. Right? So the answer is 5 and 1. Okay? So this is basically welcome to ADMAS. This is what we're going to be doing a lot of. All right? We'll be doing this. Not this easy one, right? You'll be making sure you can handle things like this. All right? So, do we stop there?